A very good evening to everyone. Welcome to Global Online, and yes, here we are back with our next session on NTA UGC-NET JRF, including JRF for 2023, that is for your December cycle 2023, wherein we have started with our preparation for paper 1, and the topic which we have taken for paper 1, that is higher education system, and this is our fourth topic. Prior to this, we have completed teaching aptitude, we have completed research aptitude, we have completed the communication unit, and this is the fourth unit which we are doing, that is higher education system. This is session 3, and we are going to revise the entire education in ancient India with respect to higher education. Now, after attending today's session, everyone, those especially the students who are the subscribers and who have taken the course, make sure that tomorrow you are going to ensure you are going to appear for the mock test. Tomorrow we'll be having a mock test, that is mock test number 7, which will be on the topic higher education system, and in this topic we will be focusing the subtopic, that is education in ancient India. So basically that is the part which will be available for your mock test. So just revise very well, make sure that you are attempting the test and trying to understand, analyze what is your preparation level. We also have a global online app where you can download our app, where you can ensure that with the help of your registered mobile number you can register yourself. This is how the interface looks like. You can go for the course. The course is that is UGC-NTA NET Examination 2023 Paper 1 Complete Course, which has a 20% discount offer. So you can see the course price. In case if you have any difficulty, you can get in touch with our given contact numbers. So this course basically consists of what? The content will be seen, the interface of the content, where it is listed in the form of English, Hindi, various unit wise you have the folders, and the unit consists the videos and the material which is required for you for your preparation, right? Okay. So yes, without wasting much time, without delaying and further, we'll start with the first topic today. That is what we have decided is the I hope the topic is very clear to you. So the first topic what we have decided today to go is your fundamentals of ancient education system. So this is what we have decided to go for. Okay. So yes, now before we start with the topic, as I have already informed you that this particular topic, we are going to first ensure that whatever is important, whatever is needed for you from examination point of view, all those points, all those pointers are added in this particular notes. This notes will come immediately once your class is done, so that you can start revising the notes and you can start preparing for yourself for tomorrow's examination. So let's start with our first topic, that is the aim of ancient education system. So basically when we talk about ancient education system, so let's understand what the aim that time was to build up, what basically education system was concerned with, or what exactly was the idea or aim of education system. So if you can see, the first aim of education system, or basically the main aim of the education system, that ancient India, it was moksha, in order to ensure that the liberation was an ultimate aim, through which it definitely had a cycle of death and birth. Okay, so to understand that cycle, to understand the importance of that cycle, it was very important for the people to be educated, and hence it is one of the first very basic aim for the education. Coming next is to what? Character shaping. Yes, in order to have an overall development of the character, so where you consider the where you consider the values such as honesty, truthfulness, respecting the elders, making sure that these all shaping of a career. Nowadays we call it as, in modern education we call it as what? That holistic development, or we call it as your moral overall development. So yes, that was again a basic aim of what? It was a basic aim of education. Imparting religious knowledge. Yes, so very importantly, very first important thing is the aim of education basically was to ensure that the religious knowledge, okay, or imparting the religious knowledge was an aim, so that the pupil or the generation is aware about what about the spiritual aspect with respect to the education, this was possible. So yes, the aim was to ensure, the spiritual knowledge was given to the young generation, through which they could have, get certain amount of idea with respect to the culture of the country, or with respect to the value with regarding education. Then coming was the social duty, that is the duty of the individual, every individual with their whatever relationship it is into, every individual should be responsible for his civic duties. That is, as in civilian, the individual should be aware about his rights and duties. So yes, and without knowledge it was not possible. Overall development of the personality, as I said, this is very important, that the main aim of the education was not only to develop specific things, but ensure that the overall aim of the personality, overall development of the personality is into place. So with respect to the self-confidence, with respect to self-reliance, control, all these important points were supposed to be a part of to be a part of the personality. Preservation and promotion of the culture, yes, that is preserving and protecting the culture, with respect to the generations which is now presently at that point of time, and with the future generation, that is to have sustainability. This was one of the important aspects. So yes, this was the main aim of the education. Now this particular topic will be important for you only from the statement or assertion and reasoning point of view. So you should be aware of this topic very well. Okay. Going ahead, we have the next topic, that is higher education. So now let's see what exactly, it is talking about, what exactly it is talking about your higher education. So when we talk about higher education, what type of education are you looking for? So the education was basically to reflect the various issues, whether the issues were with respect to social issues, economical issues, cultural issues, moral issues, spiritual issues. So these issues were supposed to be highlighted. Development was possible only with the help of spread of knowledge, that is called as dissemination of knowledge. Yes, survival was one of the crucial factor, and yes, this was, statistically it was very important to target a specific age group, that is the age group of 15 to 15-9. So this age group was very importantly to be targeted, because this age group was supposed to be having, a proper understanding with optimum utilization of human responsibility with the help of education. So yes, statistically talking now here, yes, I'll just give you an example. So when I'm talking about statistical part, so please keep in mind that we have, it says that right now 62.5% okay of the people, are into the aim of education, and with the age group of 15 to 59, but till the year 2036 this has to be increased to what? It has to be increased to 65%. So this statistics also please keep in mind, this is very important to be remembered, right? Now, what is the rank of India with respect to what? With respect to education, higher education. So India ranked third after China and USA. And yes, it has main important objective to be addressed, that is accessibility, equity, quality, excellence, and relevance of education or value-based education. So that is main aim which has to be studied, which has to be understood very well. Coming next is with the educations which are seen in the different periods. So we have Gupta period, we have Buddhism, Mughal period. We are going to take some important points in the form of universities also. At the end we will study those. So Gupta period, where we have seen Nalanda, Takshila and Ujjain. Yes, from this questions do come. There is a small aspect of question which you have to do very well. So when we talk about Nalanda University, which is talking about all the branches of knowledge, yes. When we talk about Takshila University, it talks or takes into consideration the branch of medicine. Ujjain is the university which takes into consideration the study of astronomy and mathematics. So yes, this is what is basically to be considered when it comes into consideration of Gupta period. Buddhism, yes, with the help of Pali language as a medium of instruction. Sarnath University and Ajanta was, two focus points. And coming to Mughal period, it started establishment with the help of primary, secondary, school education, and education which was based on Hindu philosophy. So from this, see, whatever points are important, I have taken certain notes also, but here whatever points are important, that much only I have focused, so that it is important for you, to keep in mind, and it will not be a heavy burden for you, right? Coming next to is your formal education system. So yes, this particular system you have to take into consideration very well. It will help you to understand the things very properly. So if you see, I have given over here the bifurcation. That is how the formal education is divided. It is divided in the form of what? It is divided in the form of your elementary education, that is in the form of primary education, secondary education, and tertiary education. So when we talk about primary education, it is child centric, and it is up to 18 years of 14 years of age. Secondary education, which talks about the understanding level, and yes, it includes this class of 9th and 10th, as well as the senior secondary, where we have the class of 10th and 11th and 12th. And tertiary education, now this you have to keep in mind very well. Tertiary education is with respect to what? With respect to higher plus vocational education. So higher education takes into consideration your general studies like commerce, arts and science. Professional educations will be taking into consideration what? Your engineering and medical and architecture, which is a part of your higher education. Coming to vocational education, you have two, traditional and new emerging. So under traditional, you have a traditional courses like ITC, Polytechnic, okay, computer training. Whereas in new emerging, you have the courses such as tour, travelism, aviation industry, or hospitality. So I have given you a small table also. So this table will help you, to ensure that you are keeping in mind, certain points very well. So when we talk about this table is basically talking about what? A table is talking about your primary, pre-primary, primary, and your secondary, senior secondary, and tertiary education. So primary, pre-primary, that is only up to prior to the class 1. Primary, it takes into consideration elementary in the form of class 1 to 5, and upper primary, that is in the form of class 6 to 8, which afterwards is followed by the secondary, that is a class of 8 to 10, and senior secondary, focusing the class of what? Focusing the class of 9th, 11th and 12th. And tertiary education is the one which is only done after the class of what? After the class of 12th. That is prospering towards higher education and towards the vocational education, right? So if you want to keep this in mind very well, so this is the last slide, I mean to say, which we have. So this will help you to keep the important points in mind properly. So let us see what are those points. That it talks about what? Principal levels of qualification in higher education. So please try to understand when we talk about principal levels. Yes, Ashwini, I am very fine. Thank you very much. I hope it is catching up. See, now those students who have joined a bit late, let me tell you that we have the sessions on YouTube and on app. So if you see, the session today is session 3. Session 1 and 2 I have taken on the Global Online app. This session 3 is on your YouTube. That is Fridays we come on YouTube. Mondays I come on YouTube for a live session. But Monday sessions are analysis of the mock test which is taken on Saturday. Whereas Friday sessions are the sessions which are based on the topics which I take, in consideration the topic which is going for a specific week. Is it clear? So yes, I hope this is very clear. Little bit of information for you. So let's talk about principal levels of qualification in higher education. So now if you see these principal levels, now yes, some of the students may have a doubt in your mind, or you may come up with a doubt stating that undergraduate, it's for 3 years, but yes, the changes are applicable only with the new education policy 2020. So when we are studying new education policy 2020, that time we will see the old academic structure also as per the new academic structure which is mentioned for 2020 2020, as per New Education 2020. So that we will see, but it depends upon what? It depends upon your topics which are based on higher New Education Policy 2020. So till then we have to just understand this old education system. So it had undergraduate, that is for 3 years with a bachelor degree. It had post graduation, that is with respect to what? Master's degree. It has a research level, which indicated what? Your fellowship, that is your doctorate, your fellowship or postdoctorate. And then we went ahead with what? We went ahead with education, evolution of higher education with respect to what? With respect to origin of Vedic age, with respect to Sanskrit as the medium of instruction in Vedic period, and Pali as the medium of instruction in Buddhist system, okay, Buddhism. So ancient literature, where we talk about Vedas, where we talk about Brahmas, where we talk about Upanishads, which was considered as the highest knowledge, okay. And Gurukul was a system, what was a house of the teacher, where the students, resided in order to get the overall development, a moral development, a holistic development. Goshti was a conference which was summoned by the great kings. Vidyapeeth was nothing but the educational institutions which was for the spiritual aspects. Viharas in the form of Buddhist monastery, and Vikramshalas, that was religious teaching. Now the reason to make it very crisp, it means these comes either in the form of your match the following or the statement question. So you don't have to remember a lot. What is required, that much I have given you for remembrance, okay. Now let's come to the next part, which is our important part, that is in the form of what? In the form of Vedas, okay. So we are going to see what exactly, what exactly we are going to have information over here. So basically let's understand the Vedas, okay. So Vedas are considered as the oldest literature in the world, and its origin is from the philosophy of life that belonged to ancient India. Right now, when we talk about when we talk about Vedas, it's nothing but a study of aspect in order to get information, in order to get knowledge, which has been considered, right? And yes, this there are the entire literature and philosophy of India, that is called, as I told you in one of the lecture yesterday itself, it's called as source of knowledge for India. It is nothing but it is known as what? It is known as source of knowledge, which is from what? From Upanishads, Tritis, the Puranas, and this are considered as what? A superiority of Vedas, okay. This basically is nothing but it is considered as the superiorities of Vedas, and yes, it plays an important role in Indian life. And there are basically 4 Vedas, which is in the form of Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. So yes, this is basically in the match the following if you get. So Rig Veda is nothing but the books of mantras, Sama Veda is the books of chants, Yajur Veda, it consisting of rituals, and Atharva Veda, it consists of spells. So yes, this is what in the previous year question paper, not in the latest cycle. In the old cycle it was asked, in the latest cycle it was asked in a different way, so that you will get in the question in the form of mock test also. So yes, you have to remember this Vedas as the oldest form of literature, as I said, and yes, it helps to get through the knowledge, not only with the philosophy of life but with the culture also. And we had these 4 important Vedas which we studied. It is to recognize the easiest word, I have given you this. Right now, let's concentrate on Gurukuls. As I said, it is one of the ancient education in ancient India was actually identified with the help of what? Was identified with the help of Gurukul system, the house of teacher, okay. So it is basically the residential schools where the students live with the gurus or with the teacher and take the lessons of life, okay. Yes, it is basically the curriculum. Now the curriculum of Vedic education, or the aspects of Vedic education. So as I said, the knowledge is imparted by guru, that is a teacher, house of teacher you can say, with the help of 2 methods. It was in the form of oral and it was in the form of Chintan, that is in the form of thinking. So these were the two main aspects through which the education was delivered, or the aim of education was practiced. So these academics were main forums where the students belonging to higher order of learning gathered together, and definitely they quenched their thirst for what? Their thirst for education, right? Now you have to remember this very well, that during the later Vedic period, okay, Varna came to be determined by birth. So the whole society got divided into four Varnas. It is Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. So here there are no detailed questions. So much of the topic I have not considered, because I have just gone through all the papers previous year, latest cycle, but there are no papers, no questions. So whatever till now I have given, even if you study that, remember that very well, revise that very well, is enough. Okay, now the second half of our class will go with the various universities, okay, starting with Taxila, Mithila University, Telra University, Shraddhapit University, Nalanda, Vallabhi, Pushpagiri, Udantari, Vikramshila and Jagdala. So these universities, yes, there are questions based on this also. So we'll see one by one with these universities, and let's see how we can proceed further with this. Okay, so first comes is your Takshila University. So basically it talks about what? It is one of the most renowned university which is located in the city of Taxila, okay, which is particularly known as what? For the study of science, especially medicine. So in match the following, please remember you get this in the form of what? Match the following. Statement questions were not seen, but yes, match the following questions were seen very much. So you should be remembering this very specifically, very particularly. So both the subjects, that is religious subjects and secular subjects like archery, astrology were taught, and Jakarta Tales of Buddhist Literature is mentioned in Takshila University. So basically you have to remember that the location or what it was involved in. It is particularly especially known for what, right? Then coming to Mithila University, the second university which we have is Mithila University. It comprises of certain parts of Bihar and Jharkhand, and yes, certain parts of Nepal also. The university taught literature. So yes, which were the subjects which were considered in this university? So the question comes on the subject or some special element which I have added. So you have to go through these notes also very well after the explanation. So the subjects such as fine arts, science, okay, scriptures in the form of Vedas, Nyaya Shastra are to be considered. It was formed with the help of Ganesha Upadhyaya, that is the mathematician who founded the logic, okay, Navya and Nyaya. So Navya, Nyaya, that is in the form of jurisdiction, and Shastra in the form of what? That is in the form of logic. Okay, and these two subjects became very popular with the help of what? With the help of popular with the help of these two regular subjects, right? Ashwini, yes, the classes videos, okay. For you, I have some, I mean to say, for all the students who are really literally waiting for some regular videos, for them I have one issue sorted out, I mean to say. Let me first complete this, I'll come for that also, right? So yes, Mithila University, see what points I'm highlighting. So now let me tell you, if you go to any books or any notes or any specific reference or books also, whichever notes you are referring, please, there are n number of points, but I have taken the points which will, without stress, which will give you just or little bit of enthusiasm to go through your topic, okay, and study the topic very well. So now whatever notes I have given, as I said, immediately after the session I'll put this notes on the WhatsApp, but it doesn't mean that from this also you have to cut short. Please don't do that. Whatever is given is really very important. This much definitely you have to do, you have to study. So it's very important that you keep a track on this, keep on revising, and definitely it will be easier for you to go through the topics very well and understand the topics and answer the question, right? Okay, next is Tehelra University. Now this basically is it was a site of Buddhist monastery which was found in ancient India. It was located near to Nalanda University. And yes, it is older than. Now see, that's the reason I've purposely brought this point. If we know that Takshila and Nalanda, the older university, none of the books has mentioned this. In fact, I have not seen, but yes, while going through some of the deep website and contents, I have got this. So Telra University was older than Nalanda and Vikramshila. So you have that point. So please keep this in mind very well. Okay. Now Shraddha Pit Temple University, so it is established, Shraddha, no, that is based on, you know, religious and political influences of Buddhism, and yes, which was written by Panini and other grammarians, which were, you know, stored in a specific place. And yes, again it is recorded as the major centers of higher learning of Vedic scriptures and commentaries. And yes, it is prominent ancient scholars which studied this university, you know, which studies in this universities. Okay, like for example, the Chinese scholars were there. There are many, so you just have to remember that very prominent ancient scholars studied in this university. So names I didn't write over here because there were long list. So you just remember this much is enough for you, right? Going to Nalanda University, yes. Now what was a special part is education was obtained here free of cost. Subject taught range from, you know, Mahayana, that is Buddhism, Sanskrit or Vedas. It also, you know, this was, I mean to say, Khilji, okay, the one who was responsible for the destruction or destroying the Nalanda University. So yes, this is one point you have to keep in mind. See, I'm out of this, a 1% topic of question is going to come. But for that 1% topic of question, you have to prepare for this amount of length of information. And that's the reason I said again and again, I'm repeating, it is very short and sweet. So it becomes easier for you to read and highlight the important points and keep it in mind, right? Now, coming to Vallabhi University. So basically, it was an important center of Buddhist learning. Which has, you know, apart from religious science, it offered the courses like political science in the form of Niti, Vartha, that is business, agriculture, administration, theology, law and economics, including accountancy. So from subjects onwards also, no, maybe you will get, you know, you will get certain amount of questions. So you should be ready for those questions in order to answer it very correctly. Okay. So here, if you see this word theology, it is basically a term, or it's a study of religion. So, you know, where you have Dharma Shastra, where you have religion, Dharma, that is, you know, that is basically considered, or a faith, a study of religious faith is undertaken in this study, right? Okay. Coming next was Pushpagiri University. So Pushpagiri University is basically older than Nalanda University, okay, but not than Tehra University, and it is mentioning the writings of Chinese traveler Yanzeng, which shows, you know, that Pushpagiri was important Buddhist site in ancient India. So it emphasized, or it gives importance to what? It gives importance to Buddhist site, and it flourished between the 3rd and 11th century. Now yes, so you don't have to remember this, very rarely the question will come, but yes, it was basically writings on what? That is Buddhism, and which was mentioned by the Chinese scholar. That much you have to keep in mind, right? Odanpuri, yes, Odanpuri basically, you know, it was a university which was set up in Bihar as a Buddhist Mahavira, and yes, students came in, but you know, they could not, I mean say from far and near, but it could not get the status of fame which was attended by Vikramshila and Nalanda. So basically Odanpuri University was equally important, but when it came to fame wise, or when it came to, you know, recognition wise, that was not received, and the subject's thoughts were basically responded to Buddhism. Okay. Now Vikramshila University, yes, sorry, here it is one spelling, yes. Vikramshila and Nalanda were two important universities or centers of learning in India, and these, you know, these centers also hold several temples. As I said, Vikramshila basically, okay, it housed several temples, and in fact it was originated as a temple, from a form of temple only, and it considered the subjects in the form of logic, philosophy and Shastra and many more such. Okay. Now Jagdala University, which was presently located in Bangladesh, again a Buddhist monastery which ranged the subjects in the form of Sanskrit, Buddhism, and yes, a large number of Tibetan sacred texts were composed at this particular Jagadala University. Okay, so this you have to keep in mind, because yes, some questions were seen out of this, okay, in certain of the topics. Now here I will just take a minute of yours, okay. One particular point I'll just help you to understand what that point is basically reflected to. Okay, so yes, just now we studied everything about ancient education in India, but one extra point which I want to just refer, institutions. Okay, maybe this I have done in a regular class, but for you students also, so just I couldn't add it in the notes, sorry for that, but I'll just repeat it properly, and I'll just mention. If you want, you can take the screenshot of that. So when we talk about one topic which I should have added, but it's okay, I've added it in the short, but I feel that I should just revise it little bit detail. So when we talk about ancient education system, educational institutions are there. Okay, it may come to you to recognize. Okay, so when we talk about educational institutions, there are basically 10 institutions. Some you remembered right now, but some we will do again. So first is Gurukul. As I said, it is a house of teacher. Second, it indicates the parishads. Now parishads basically was one which got patronage, or which got importance because of the patronage by the kings, which considered Brahmins, which started with a very lower number of 3 adding up to 20. Okay, and these Brahmins formed this educational institutions which are known as parishads, right? Then we had the third one, that is in the form of Goshti. Okay, just now we did it in the one of the slide. Goshti, yes, it was one of the form of educational institution. Basically it was it was in the form of conferences in order to exchange the views on education, right? Then coming to next one was ashramas. Yes, ashramas was again a residential schools wherein learning took place, and different students from different part of the country were prospective students who came in order to enhance their learning. Then we have, yes, we also did the next one, that is Vidyapits. So this is basically it was an educational institution for spiritual. As I said, it started with temples for spiritual aspects. Then we had something called as what? Then we had something called as Gatikas. Okay, now Gatikas basically it is associations which we called it, and this association was for basically cultural knowledge, in order to give a cultural aspects. Okay, then we have the next one was Agraharas, basically the settlements of Brahmins. Okay, next we had Mathas. Here again we had a knowledge, okay, spiritual knowledge to be that is association with the help of the knowledge. Then we have something called as Brahmapuri. Okay, so Brahmapuri, it's nothing but a town, city or a place where we had information which was in a part of what, especially a town or a city where only educational concepts or education was the main focus point, nothing else. And the last one was this viharas in the form of Buddhist monastery, which was taken into consideration. Is it clear? Okay, so this is what we have studied in the form of what? In the form of educational institutions. So when you study educational institutions of India, this point may be very important. So that's the reason I have written on the screen very well. You can just take a screenshot of it, so it can become easier for you to remember in mind, to keep the options in mind very well. Okay, Takshila, Shweta, Takshila it is. Medicine, it is Takshila. Okay, yes. Now in the years of these universities I have not highlighted, as I told you. Okay, the reason is what, there were no specific questions on this. And like for example, if I talk about, let us take an example, Taxila University. So it just talks about, the flourished from the year 600 to 500, that is year. Then when I talk about Nalanda, there is no right information about it. Vallabhi, also no right information. Vikramshila is there from 1800. So there is no sparkling mind. There is no such question properly on years. So that's the reason it is not highlighted. If you want, you can please cross check in any of the year or any of the paper, previous year question paper. You can see there is no such question given on this. Okay. Om, this PDF of this video will come on the WhatsApp group immediately after the class ends. So I'm just seeing one by one the questions. Maheshwar Patel, the fees for paper 1 is 3,600 something. If you want, I'll come to that slide again, once again. Okay. Now, yes, as you all know that, the decline. Now, see, we spoke about what? We spoke about ancient universities, right? Now, the decline of ancient universities gave rise to modern university. So, modern universities or modern education system, I have not taken. I will be taking it in the next class, right? So, like for example, see, I will just, if you want, a small question I will take. Okay, just will help us, to understand. Now, see, little bit of reading, as I said, why it is very important. Just a practice question I'll give you now. Okay, now see, I'll write the question on the board. It will take little time, but make sure that you are little patience you are having. Okay, they have given universities are listed below. So following are the universities through which you have to find out the statements belong to which university. Okay, so they have given 4 statements, right? So let us see what these statements are. The universities they have given is A is Vikramshila. Okay, so I'll just write the answer first, Vikramshila. Options I'll write, sorry. B is Nalanda, that's what we did right now. Okay, C is your Ujjain University. Okay, and D is your sorry, Takshila University, right? Now see over here. Now that's the reason. Now, Ujjain University, if you see, now this particular unit. Now, okay, let me write the statements first. It is talking about oldest university. Okay. It is the points, no exam system. Okay. Third statement, it talks about Greece culture. It has an impact of Greece culture, and students entered at this university at the age of 16. Now see, first of all, this is a practice question. Okay, so this I'm just putting the question in the box properly. I'm extremely sorry for the writing, but this is a question that they have given us some statements of university, and these statements is applicable to which university. Now, what happens is, just now I help you to understand every university. Ujjain was not there. So see, whenever you do such questions, practice questions, you have to see with all the options. Now you know that Ujjain University is not considered, so study Ujjain University first. Let little bit of information have about Ujjain University, and then now see, these points were not there. So you can just do little bit of research of these points and come with certain important highlights in your notes. I mean to say, make sure they have notes with you. So when we talk about this particular question, oldest university, no exam system, or no Greece culture, for which was basically impact of Greece culture or students at the age of 16. It's not Shweta, it's not Takshila. No, it's not Takshila. sorry, you have given the option is that yes, Shweta, yes, Sparkling Mind, Shweta, your answer is right, sorry, and Sparkling Mind, it's not Nalanda, it's Takshila University. Okay, that's the reason I said that, you know. Now see, if Ujjain University, if you see Ujjain University, only one statement you can find in the books, it includes mathematics and astronomy. That's the only point which we have written. Okay, but if you go with, you know, like let us take an example of Takshila University. In if you go with a proper detailed reading, no, so they have this point, one entry is at the age of 16. Now see, this how, you know, your reading or your going through the theory also really makes a important point. Greece, about Greece, they have not given any such, but yes, they have given about the age, that is age is 16. Yes, it attracted the students from. So they have given a point, you know, it attracted the students from where they have given Greece as the country. So it has, you know, it had some impact on Greece culture. So that's the reason sometimes, you know, only studying your points, theory, see, it is basically Sparkling Mind, it attracted students. The question was saying that it had some impact on which culture. So not only Greece, it also had an impact on China, it also had an impact on Syria and Greece, including Greece. So these, you know, this you will come to know only when you are reading the questions, so that you go into the deep, you little bit find out some extra points and study. That's the reason I always tell that after my lecture, you should have an impact of going and studying the theory very well. So today, as I said, I have completed ancient part. Tomorrow you will be having a mock test. So little bit of self-study, because mock test will be taken in the evening. So you will do little bit of self-study and come prepared. No, it will be easier for you to obtain, you know, the proper understanding, confidence in order to attempt the questions, and giving your time productive way, so that whatever you study, you do not feel that it is a complete loss of time. It's very important that you have to ensure that the time is properly utilized. Is it clear? Okay, fine. So yes, so make sure that we have completed ancient education part very well. Those students who feel that we need little bit of more of this, don't worry. As I said, I will again come up with the crash courses, no, for every concepts. So these crash courses I will add more, because crash courses I will divide into 3 parts. So in that question about, you know, we will study very well. Yes, heritage, there was a question about heritage sites. What was that question? Can you exactly give me, Shweta, that question? I will have to check into what, because even I read that question, but somewhere, no, I am not exactly remembering that question. So I have to recall that question, but that question is there. Even I have came across such question of heritage sites. So I'll come back to, anyways, tomorrow, no, I will add that. I will just have to look and I will add it, you know, in the session. Yes, Ashwini, tomorrow the lectures, today's session link, which session's link you want? Today the session is on YouTube only, no? So this is the YouTube class. Tomorrow, Ashwini, the class is for management students, and you have a mock test for paper 1 students. And then Sunday there is no class. Monday there will be again class at 9 PM on YouTube live. Okay. So at 9 PM we will be discussing all the topics which are related to what? Which are related to mock test analysis. Is it clear? Right? Okay. So yes, any student who is looking for paper 2 notes with Global Online, so these are the subjects which we provide paper 2 notes. The numbers are given, fees is ₹1600. You have a 20% off on this, and you can, if you have any concern, doubt, you can get in touch with us. Sure? Okay, fine everyone. So yes, only one doubt I have not answered is, Shweta, yours about heritage sites, but I'll come back with the question, okay? Because I'm not able to recall the exact question. I have to just go through it in the book once and refer and come back to it. Okay, fine. So yes, that's all for the day. Thank you everyone. See you in the next class everyone, and all the best for your tomorrow's mock test for higher education system. Thank you.